Fighters, it's showtime!
All right, welcome everyone to another Two Stupid Gamers video, another in our series of Summer Fighting Games 2023. I'm Mash.
I'm Zero.
And today we're going to be playing one of my personal favorite 2D fighting games of all time, and that is Capcom vs. SNK 2, Mark of the Millennium 2001. Electric Boogaloo.
All right, so I actually also want to say that this is also one of my favorite fighting games of all time. As a matter of fact, my brother and I were playing Street Fighter 6. It released last month, and we were talking about the announcers, and it's so funny how...
The announcer who's talking as you're talking.
Yeah, the same announcer. It's so funny how the announcers on Street Fighter 6, you know, like the commentators and stuff that they put in the game, use so many lines from this game. And it's weird because a lot of other fighting games seem to be doing something similar because it's just so iconic. It's so weird how all other fighting games, yeah, sure, they had announcers, but we barely remember them. But when it comes to this game, Capcom vs. SNK, this announcer is such a goddamn earworm. He stays with you for years, if not decades after the fact. It's not even that he's super... I don't even know what it is. He just has that it factor.
Yeah. It's like the right amount of like cheesy campiness, just fighting game narrator nonsense.
Yeah. This is going to be a match to remember. Fight!
Also the music and like the presentation, the stages, it's so like from this era. It's so amazing. It like the way the blocks like fade in, the tiles. It's wonderful.
Like honestly, Capcom really put their all into Capcom vs. SNK 2. They really did, and I'm so happy this game exists because it's one of the games that got me to fully understand fighting games and also the various systems and mechanics that a lot of fighting game developers try to put in. If it wasn't for this game, I probably wouldn't be as good in Street Fighter or any other fighting game as I am today. Oh my god.
I remember playing this game for the first time at our old club in college where we played mostly fighting games. And I was like, man, what is this goofy sounding game? But just as I started to play it more and more, spend more time with it, I just got the charm of it. It was just such a fantastic fighting game.
That's the word I was looking for. The charm. The charm factor. The way that the presentation, the very, very tight controls, the ridiculous amount of options you have, the ability to have different mechanics depending on which super meter you choose. Oh my god. Everything just works. And then, of course, the earworm of the announcer.
Now, let's not forget to mention, this is Capcom vs. SNK 2. There was obviously also a Capcom vs. SNK 1. And there was also an SNK vs. Capcom series as well.
That's right. If you don't mind, I think I'll talk a little bit about that. So, obviously, back in the mid to late 90s, people were saying, oh my god, Capcom came out with Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. What if we had SNK games like King of Fighters versus Street Fighter? And everyone kept thinking there's no way that would ever happen. Because for those who don't know, the people who developed King of Fighters and those kind of games from SNK used to be Capcom employees. They left Capcom for better pastures, basically. And
I'll say,
yeah, and Dan was created as a joke character to joke on the SNK fighters. So there was a little bit of bad blood between SNK and Capcom. So a lot of people kept saying it'd be amazing if we had a versus game between them. And everyone kept saying there's no way it'll happen, though. Because of all that bad blood, because, you know, they're two different companies. Japanese companies, by the way, no offense to anyone, but they're also notorious for being very against certain things. Like, they want to stay in, like, their own, you know, comfort zone and do things their way, which is fine, but it's kind of annoying. So when we finally got the announcement that we were getting a Capcom versus SNK game, everyone kind of lost their shit. And there were going to be 2 different versions, Capcom versus SNK 1 and then SNK versus Capcom, which actually only ended up being a Wonder Swan fighter. So a handheld fighter.
Right.
No one paid attention to that. It was Capcom versus SNK 1.
Yeah.
We got a version of it on the PS1 and I think a Saturn version too, which got little attention in the West. But it was a good game and it functions a little bit differently than this. Funny enough. You only have the light and hard punches and kicks. And I think they don't let you do just regular 3v3. It's only ratio. And certain characters count for more ratio than others. So some characters you can only choose them as like their final, or like they'll take up 2 spots. It's a little weird on how it works, but it's interesting. To my understanding, there is a SNK versus Capcom 2. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it does exist, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it in person.
I like the idea of taking 2 different fighting games, 2 different fighting game universes, and just like mashing them together. That's something, the dream for me and a lot of like 3D fighting game fans was to kind of get something like this, but with a 3D fighting game. And it has like kind of a similar setup. Maybe there's not necessarily bad blood, especially not now, but I'm sure at some point, like Harada from Tekken and the people behind, you know, Virtua Fighter, maybe even Dead or Alive, whatever, like they probably also saw each other in the same way as SNK and Capcom at this time, you know. And it would be nice to see like a 3D fighting game crossover. It's just, is it likely to happen? Probably not.
I mean, let's not forget we did get a Street Fighter cross Tekken.
We did.
But it wasn't necessarily the best game out there, in our opinion.
And we were supposed to get Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
And that never happened.
And that never happened. Which would be interesting just from the fact of, like, we haven't seen Street Fighter characters in the 3D fighting game space since Street Fighter EX.
There we go.
Yeah. Not since then have we had that cast of characters fighting in 3D. So a Tekken Cross Street Fighter, which would have been the 3D space, would have been really interesting. But they kind of kept pushing it off. Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out, and I guess because it didn't do so well, they just like...
Well, I mean, Capcom was spitting out fighters like crazy. So it's kind of their fault for having done that sort of shit.
Oh, snap. I love the music in this stage.
Same here, bro.
I can't deny that every once in a while I will come back to Capcom vs SNK 2 soundtrack on YouTube and just kind of listen to it for fun, because there's some good songs on the soundtrack. But forget that song, I got interrupted.
Indeed you did, because now you gotta fight the Zero, the hero. Let's see. Where is Joe? There he is. He's up here. And then, of course, we'll end it with Kyo. Now we got... Because you're doing ratio matches. I usually do, just regular 3v3. Yeah. Ratio basically gives more health and power to one character that you chose. That's how that works.
Yeah.
The others are normal. Ah, damn it, I'm light blue. I wanted white.
You passed me. Ken passed Terry his hat. I like that. This game is full of little nods like that. Like Sakura at the beginning when she comes in, her shoe can fall off and hit someone in the face. It's
hilarious. I have to be careful because I'm so trained with Street Fighter 6 right now that I may try to do some moves that Ken doesn't even have.
Here, yep. I can tell you that his grab is gonna be the old school style.
Oh no, that I know. I have to remind myself constantly. Oh, and by the way, everyone, we're getting more practical use of a certain controller that we reviewed on the channel.
Really?
That's right, because I'm using the PlayStation Retro Fighters Defender for this.
Which we
It's,
get lots of comments on YouTube still.
We have till this day we still get comments, people asking or giving their 2 cents on the controller. I personally still love it. The only little complaint I have is that the triggers are still very sensitive. So every once in a while, especially on a fighter like this, I'll send out a kick when I didn't intend to do so.
Right.
Oh, good grab.
I love the air grabs. I miss them.
Oh, God. I have to be careful. Good shit. Damn it!
There you go.
Damn it, there I go, getting hit. Because here's the thing. Street Fighter 6 feels smooth as butter. It feels heavy, but it feels smooth as butter.
Here it comes.
This game is obviously a lot more stiffer.
It is.
But I like it.
I think also with our I think also with our setup there might be some delay as well. I noticed when I was doing in character select it was really crunchy. We're playing the PS3 version of a PS2 game via the PS2 classics, and also because of how we're getting footage, I think there might be extra lag from that as well. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what I believe.
Oh, you didn't get hit. I'm so upset. That used up all 3 of my meters. Oh, God. There we go. Get hit. Come on. Try me.
Okay.
Oh, you caught me.
No. Well,
Gotcha. Be a little stinker. Oh, Joe is just one of my favorite characters. He's so cool. He's so
Joe.
fun.
I usually do Terry, Joe, and Vega, but we didn't do that here.
And you're using Evil Ryu, obviously.
Yeah, so Evil Ryu is actually banned.
He's banned in tournaments?
He's very broken.
Not
Yeah.
even surprised.
I mean, he's basically just a Kuma, but Ryu, but, like, I don't know what's so crazy about him, but he definitely has, like, a lot of insanity with, the juggles and the damages and the safeties and whatever else. It's fun. It's definitely a character that you kind of just play to mess around. You know, sometimes, for those that aren't too familiar with tournaments, you know, the base game may have a character that's kind of broken, say, right? It's kind of just very cheap or something, or just very easy to cheese other players. Basically give one person an unfair advantage, right? So tournaments will go ahead and, of course, ban those.
Well, I fucked that up. Yeah, Kyo uses Rekkas. For those who don't understand what that is, it's basically doing the Hadouken motion 3 times using the right punch button. Not the hard one, not the mid one, not the light one. You have to choose the right one, whichever one you want to do, because his combo will continue if you use the light or medium, but it'll end if you hit the hard punch button. So I'm trying to be like, do I want to get in farther by hitting hard punch and get the distance, or do I want to try to do all 3 Rekkas? Oh my god, Kim is another favorite of mine.
I don't really know a whole lot about SNK, if I have to be honest. I respect King of Fighters. I respect all of these properties. I know that SNK also includes, like, Garou, Mark of the Wolves, and stuff, but SNK also includes one of my favorite military-type games, Metal Slug.
Metal Slug? Isn't it getting a new game?
It's getting a new game, but in a different genre, and I like it. It's going to be a tactical-based game, and you know how much I love my tactics games.
That's right.
Thank you, Ken. Yeah, so I respect KOF and SNK. I never really got too far into this series. I remember really liking KOF 13.
I wanted to try KOF 15. I think that's the one that's the most recent one. It looks like fun, but graphically the game looks very, very odd.
Right.
They need like a new graphics, new art director, a new art direction as well. because they could go cell shaded. They can use special what's it called? Shaders to make the game look better. They can go with adding more details to the character. They can keep it cartoony if they want. But geez, man, the game looks pretty, like, visually looks bad. Mechanically, apparently it's good.
Well, I'm sorry to hear bad things about it, but KOF 13 was fun. We ran a tournament for it. Double tournament, because I think Skullgirls was the other one for that, I think.
Oh, Skullgirls is another amazing game.
Yeah.
We featured it last year.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my god. Yo, I'm glad you caught that. But yeah, for those who don't understand, look below the main fighting characters and you'll see different grooves.
Yeah.
So the grooves are called C, A, and P for Capcom, Cap, and then S, N, and K for
SNK. Yeah.
SNK. And each groove gives you a different super bar. And they work differently. So the super bar for C, as you see here, is the regular Street Fighter Alpha formation of it, where you get 3 different levels of super. You can either spend 1/3 of your super for a weak level 1 super. You can spend 2 of it for a stronger level 2, or all 3 for an all-out attack. It's a pretty interesting system, and I like it. Then you have A groove, which gives you just 1 long meter, but it gives you special combos. And then P, I think, is just a regular, like, Street Fighter 2 super meter, where you just get the 1 big ol' super that you can use. However, each groove also gives you different special mechanics, like being able to roll, which Mash will demonstrate in a second, by pressing square and X at the same time. God damn it, Mash, I needed you to demonstrate for me. There you go. It'll also give certain characters different specials. Unfortunately, Mash got his ass kicked by Benimaru. So, your boy's gonna have to step in when I can.
Well, actually, I think I have to restart it. And then you can interrupt at this point, yep.
Yep.
The game is about to break down because there's so many interruptions happening.
So as you can see, CAP, SNK, we got 130 seconds to choose. I always go with C. They also tell you on your respective side what the extra mechanics are that you get.
Uh-huh.
So I just love using it. It's so good. All right, now I'm going to use Rio. I'm going to go with Joe again because Joe is just a delight. And of course, the Ken, the Masters. Of course you would put your last guy as, like, the strongest.
Anchor.
Yeah, your Anchor, okay. Fuck your Anchor.
We are actually going to play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was one of the other choices, potentially.
We'll leave that for next year. In all honesty, not my favorite Marvel vs. Capcom game. It also looks a little bit weird.
Not a lot of people's favorite Marvel vs. Capcom game.
Oh, you're using Evil Yodi.
Yeah.
Why, though?
I don't know. I assume evil means better.
I usually see Evil as glass cannon. Also, Rio is just also a delight. One of my favorite colors is orange. It's also one of the reasons why I chose orange as one of the main colors of this channel.
Really?
Yeah, because I just like the color orange. Oh, I couldn't do it.
It's not because you wanted us to rip off of Game Grumps?
Not at all. I just like the way blue and orange looks. They're complementary colors, in case you didn't know.
Ah, yes, the color wheel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for those of you who thought we got it off of Game Grumps, it was a complete accident.
No, we actually despise Game Grumps. We're better.
You don't want to get Aaron and Ninja Sex party angry.
Dan?
Yeah, you don't want to get Aaron and Dan angry.
Well, what if we get them angry and then they'll have to come join us and do like an episode together?
Yeah, you know what?
Call
We
us out.
dare you guys. Call us out.
Yeah, seriously.
Let them know in the comments below. Let them know in their comments that we're calling them out. Come over to NYC and we'll have a we'll make a video where we all fight in a game, not physically, obviously, because
No, of course not.
you know, we're...
Only video games. But hey, the ball is in their court. If they come, we'll have a fantastic episode. If not, lame grumps.
Yeah, we're calling them out.
We're throwing down the gauntlet.
Yes, we are. Capcom versus SNK team match. Two stupid gamers versus Game Grumps. Let's do it. Let them know in their comments. Let us know in our comments. They're gonna get it. They're gonna feel the heat. It's gonna be a match to remember.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
pulled it off.
Nice bringing it back around to the actual game that we're playing.
Yeah, indeed. Dude, I'm telling you, the announcer is a fucking earworm. I love it. Haha, you see? Even said it. Ah, goddamn it. Let's also not forget that he also does his own little commentary while we're playing.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the first times an announcer, not one of the first times actually, but one of the most memorable times where an announcer of a fighter does that. There we go. I keep missing my inputs.
Blame it on the inputs.
Damn it. Oh, I heard you. Okay, so I did
Yeah,
call it.
I
I did call it.
I thought that was me. I was like, yeah, I got him. Wow.
I was hoping that would hit you.
I also thought it would hit me, so I was like, there I go.
All right, looks like I'm continuing the arcade.
Purple.
I didn't want purple.
I used to always use purple when I played Third Strike. It's odd to honor your opponent, but thank you for doing that. I appreciate all the same.
I love his axe kick. I want that in every fucking Street Fighter. It's so good.
Well, that's all the time we have for Capcom versus SNK 2. Unfortunately, but my god, such a great fighting game. If you've never played this, you should definitely check it out. You could probably catch it in some arcades still. They do play them. They do tournaments for these, but we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Indeed, if you guys did, make sure to slap the like button, mash the subscribe button, and let us know down in the comments below. Do you want to see a match between the two stupid gamers and, of course, the Game Grumps? It would be awesome, actually. I'd love to do that.
Indeed, it would. And yeah, we appreciate you guys checking us out, and we'll see you continuing on the summer fighting games. So thank you, and stay tuned.
That's right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.